What's happening? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam. This is Go To Outdoors. Today, I'm sitting in a pop-up blind. Just hopped back on the property. I came back to right around where the trail cam is. If I have any good images off of that, I'm gonna check that when I'm done here. I'll pop those into the video. The last time I checked it, there was a whole bunch of activations, but there wasn't anything on the pictures, so I kind of want to be down here to see what it is. The pictures were getting tripped just right around sunset. So if I can get those on the big camera here, I'll have a better idea what I could possibly take back here with a bow this year. Now, again, I'm never going to say I'm the world's greatest deer hunter. In fact, I'm quite terrible at it. I've mentioned this before. I've actually killed just as many deer with vehicles as I have actually hunting them. So take that with a grain of salt. I am wanting to learn. It's definitely something I want to get better at. So you get better by studying what you're after. I've spent hours and hours and weeks and days all the time getting to learn squirrels and small game. It's time to do the same thing with deer. So figure in a controlled environment, in a herd that's fairly used to seeing people, I can start getting closer and observing them better, and getting them on film for you if I can, to kind of show you how they act in certain places. Right behind me here, outside of the blind, is the cut that was made. And there's about an open, maybe a 1/12 of an acre here that's open. This is not very big at all, it's a small plot. But it's here, and it's just cut grass, and it's got walnut trees over it, and there's a creek that runs right past it. And I think it has potential. I have seen all kinds of critters back here. I've seen raccoons, I've seen foxes, I've seen tons of deer. Big bucks, little bucks, does, all kinds of stuff, woodchucks, and of course lots of squirrels. And right now you can probably hear them chirping. There's a lot of woodpeckers around. I've been watching them for a little bit, but they're too quick for me to get on camera. So if I find one that's sitting in one place, I'll try and get it. But I'm just back here to watch for the evening. I'm gonna enjoy myself. And as soon as anything happens, I'll bring you back. Unless, of course, I think of something to talk about. Then I'll come back first. Okay, let's get a bit of a view from the inside of the blind here. There's a big old tree right here, big old maple tree. That's right there. Let's focus. Yep, big old maple tree. Out of the side. There's a brush pile that I set up here. I'm sorry, it's zoomed in. I only have the big lens on the camera. There's one shooting lane down this way. It goes pretty far back there. It goes out about 40 yards or so. There's another view of it. Yeah, that goes out there. That's my gap in the brush here. And then out here, out this side window, it opens up. That's the other part of this bigger area. There's a small gap that I left myself a shooting lane in between some brush piles here. That only stretches out about 20 yards. And then farther back up over this direction, that leads back up towards the houses. So I'm not going to be doing too much with those. But for right now, I'm going to post up and I'm going to see, because I'm expecting some deer to come right through there here in a little bit. Yeah, I forgot. Today was the first time in almost 19 years that I hopped into a pool. Remember how I was saying I'm doing a couple things to get back in shape and lose some weight before the spring season so I can go hiking again or get into some bigger adventures? Well, I got back in the pool. I have not swam since I was 18. Since I was in high school. And I'm going to be paying for it tomorrow. I spent almost a full hour moving, swimming in the pool. Ugh, it was brutal. But baby steps. You gotta take these baby steps in order to make yourself better. You didn't get big overnight, you're not gonna get small overnight. And just like being back on the trail, the one thing I can say is whatever physical gains you make to improve yourself, you're not gonna see results immediately. What you do today, you're not gonna see results for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks. But you gotta keep remembering, you gotta keep building. Tomorrow, the next day, the day after that. Little improvements come with dedication and perseverance. So I bought a pass to go to the pool. Walnut just fell. So I bought a pass to go to the pool, and I'm gonna keep doing this as part of my overall strategy to get in better shape, to feel like me again. Feels real good though. But that said, I smell like a pool. I smell like chlorine. There's one goose up here, flying over. Take it back, there's not one goose, that is 11. Only one was honking. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 geese. This is not the kind of blind you hunt waterfowl from, nor the location. Yeah, still fun to see though. Right, this creek line here is pretty much a direct flyway for tons of geese from about, well, they're residential geese, so they don't migrate, but definitely from late August until March, they're flying every day, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They definitely smell like a pool, and you know, whatever shampoo happened to be available, I used it, so it's rather pungent. So I'm kind of thankful there's no wind blowing through here right now. I mean, everything's dead calm. Dead calm. So that might be working in my favor. Hopefully my scent will be contained inside of the blind here for the most part. And I won't get, bombed out by smelling out the joint and have a doe wheeze at me, stomp her feet and run off. Because it always seems to be the does that bust you first. Every time. There's a woodpecker up here. I'm gonna get him on film. Keep getting startled by noises. You crack, crack, sploosh. He's got walnuts falling into the creek. I know the deer cross this creek, so every time I hear it, nuts. But it keeps you on your toes. You can hear the drum corps from the local high school practicing. Well, I couldn't tell the woodpecker spoke out. Blind 101. Don't leave yourself silhouetted. She busted me good. It's my own fault. Darn it. But yeah, that one's definitely on me. Left all the vents open because I wanted to get some cross current. It was getting a little stuffy in here. Kinda hot in these rhinos. So I opened up the vents to get a little cross current. Left myself silhouetted. The sun sets in front of me. There's still enough ambient light coming from behind me. You can see right here in the portion that goes back towards the front corner of the property. That still plenty of light enough, and I know that's exactly what just happened. I got busted because I picked my head up. I was looking out this way. She came out directly in front of me, right where I thought they'd come out. Picked my head up, brought my camera up, and as soon as I clicked it on, she was on me. Happens. It happens. And now that a squirrel chirping at me, like I'm not used to that. Still good to know the deer back here, and they're getting kind of predictable. That was a nice doe, and she was by herself from what I saw, so that would be a fantastic deer to add to the freezer this year. There's a lot of does back here. I have yet to see a good variety of bucks back here, so that's pretty much the property behind the house for now is archery only, and it's going to be hunting for the freezer. But practice is practice, like I was saying. I gotta practice, I gotta harvest, I need to learn how to be a better deer hunter. Not make rookie mistakes like leaving my silhouette open behind me, getting busted because I move. Stupid, rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. I don't know where that squirrel is that keeps barking at me either. But yeah, it's still kind of early. I'd say we probably have about 45 minutes till sunset, so I might have another shot at shooting another deer tonight. Let's see what happens. Remember how I told you earlier that I can smell the chlorine in the pool on me and the really overpowering shampoo in the beard? Yeah. Well, the wind has started to slowly drift that way. Slowly drifting that way. I heard something. I looked over. Busted again. Different animal. This one looked a little smaller. But you can see for yourself right here. Just had that one bust me too. That one was because she was downwind. Well, it is getting to be about that time. Haven't really seen too much else except a couple geese that flew over, another flock flew over. I saw a blue heron fly across right over the creek here, squawking. I guess he was grumpy. Couldn't get him to focus on here, so don't have a video clip of him. But I did actually do a bit of scouting at a new wildlife management area today, one that's fairly close to where I live. And I made a couple points about what to look for and things like that. Unfortunately, what I captured on the big camera walleye. While I was up there, I kind of forgot to put the plug in the right place, so there's no sound. I have a few good pointers and stuff, but not really able to let you know how that went. So I did do a bit of discussion when I was driving back out of the entrance road, and had a little fun, some mud puddles on the way. So I'll pop that here in the end of the video and let you watch that, and then we shall get back together, back up in the house, once I finish a little bit of editing, and I'll give you my final thoughts. This is one of the rougher roads I've been on in a while, but that's why I got an FJ. Here's a good puddle. Let's just bog through it. I'd probably add a little bit of shmoo onto the sides of the vehicle. This part of the road doesn't look too bad. Anyway, like I was saying though, I'm actually going to be doing a bit more hunting in this area. Found the parking area I was actually looking for. So let me hop up in here. Let's check it out. So I'm just heading out of the kind of the fire road to get back to the sections of the wildlife management area here. And this road is not the most gentle, as you have previously seen. I've had branches ticking off both sides of the truck. You probably hear it there. I banged my antenna on the other side off of a few more. Puddle. That's never gonna get old. So heading home now, done a little bit of exploring, found kind of what I wanted to see here. I can definitely tell that there is ample hunting opportunity in this section, and I'm kind of excited for that. Having a one-lane road to get back into the woods here though is kind of brutal. Oh geez, that is a large vehicle. I am going to back down this little road here. Yeah, it's a big old International coming down here. So I just pray that he does not want to come down this side road and he can kind of go on his merry. But while I'm waiting on him to pass, I'll talk to you some more. So unfortunately, I am filming off of the phone now because the battery on the big camera died, and because I really wasn't expecting to do a whole awful lot in terms of vlogging. I was really just going to come out here and do some scouting. Yeah, it was a construction delivery vehicle. A couple big old pallets of stone. Looks like they're putting a nice wall or house up back there with a stone facade, which is super classy. Anyway, so the public hunting opportunities in Northern Virginia, at least, east of the Blue Ridge, are kind of few and far between. You know, I hate to say that, but it is what it is. There's, vast majority of everything here is either clamped down by, federal agencies that don't allow hunting, or state agencies that don't allow hunting, or it's private property. And you can't fault private property. That's kind of the whole point. You buy the land, you do with it what you want, and allow what you want on it, which is fantastic. I wish I had a lot of land right now. That would make hunting things and finding places to go somewhat easier. But that's another story for another time, and I will have my own place sometime. Just need to find the funds to get there. But if you can find an area like this particular wildlife management area that is public and it's got good access roads, it's a fairly large chunk of land. It's bigger than the entire campus of Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech was 2,200 acres when I was going there. So this is a large chunk of property. If you feel like walking down ridges, the road here is actually on the top of the ridge line. So any walking off of the parking areas that you do, you're going down. You are walking downhill, which means whatever you do down there, you're going to have to walk back up. So try not to be too tired at the end of the day when you do that. That said, this place is definitely, it has moved up my list of priorities in terms of places to hunt that are closer to my home. Because it is not an hour and 20 minutes away. This is less than an hour away from home. Yeah, that's kind of far. But again, like I was saying, in terms of public hunting opportunities in Virginia, you run with what you can. There's other places that you can go that are kind of about an hour and a half. Within an hour and a half, I can get to Fort Belvoir. I could get to Quantico Marine Base, which I have hunted Quantico Marine Base several times when I was much younger with my dad. And, seen a lot of deer, saw a whole bunch of squirrels. Apparently there's some really good waterfowl down there, but anything east of I-95 has its special set of shenanigans when it comes to waterfowl laws, blind laws, and that's something I'm going to get to in another video. But right now, because I am kind of physically limited with what I can carry, how far I can walk, and what I can do, I'm just going to focus on small game, and I'm going to focus on bird hunting for right now. And that's how it's going to have to be, because I'm not going to push myself. I'm not going to go down at the bottom of the ravine past, the top of this ridge here. I'm not going to go down there and harvest something and then not be physically able to drag it back to my vehicle. It's not a good idea. And, that would be a waste. So, like I say in several of my videos, don't harvest anything you don't plan on eating. And, be manageable. If you can bring home a limit, okay, yeah, that's great, but that's not the whole point of being outside. The whole point of being outside and hunting, for me, is just the experience of being out here, seeing what I saw today. And, apart from running to a couple people that were on the trail, 3 hikers within about half hour while I was there. That's a fairly high number of folks that are on the trail compared to my experience for the whole rest of my hike I did earlier in the year. So this is a very busy area. Again, it's very close to a let me try that word again. It is very close to a large residential area, which I'm not the most keen on. But again, find a public area where you can take it. So yeah, we're just on this gravel road here, going back. We're getting back onto paved road right now, and I'll get back with you here in a bit. Remember just a minute ago when I said you shouldn't worry about scratches and good paint jobs if you go into the public land? Well, that's kind of what I meant. It's probably about 6 foot long, right along the top. Yeah, it goes below the dirt. Oh well. All right, so we are back in the home studio. So I'm just finishing up some editing and going over what we went through today. And so yeah, got some good scouting in the backyard. Was able to see what I wanted to see. I didn't see any bucks, but I did see several does. So it means the traffic through that area is still really good, and I will have a better shot at taking a shot this year on the chance to fill a freezer. So that is kind of all I got for you today. Again, I'm going to have another video coming out before too long about the process I go through looking for public land and public areas to go hunt whenever I can, because like I was saying earlier, there's not really that much that's available in the Northern Virginia area east of I-90 or east of the Blue Ridge, and darn sure east of I-95, in order to get the public opportunities that a lot of the rest of the country does have. Where I used to live out right on the I-81 corridor, there was a lot more that was really, really close. And of course, if you did happen to have a West Virginia hunting license, because I lived just a couple miles away from the state line, if you jumped over there, public hunting got a lot easier to find if you knew where to look. But again, that's another story. That's going to be another video where I'm going to be breaking out a couple things, the tools that I use, the maps, and what's available. The easiest stuff to use to do some pre-scouting, some internet scouting before you go ahead and head out. So that's what I got for you today.
And like always, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.